After nearly 40 days, a serial squatter has been removed from a landlord's property, but they did $40,000 worth of damage before leaving. I'm Tony, and this is Real Estate Investing and Landlord News. All right, so I have an update to a video that I did just a short while back about a landlord in the Jacksonville area who had a squatter who moved into her property and basically would not leave, okay? Claiming that they were the victim. They pulled out a fake lease and said, "Hey, no, I'm living here legally." And the police refused to remove this person. So this landlord had to go through the entire civil eviction process, and it took them 38 days to be able to get this tenant out of there. But the tenant left a little surprise for that landlord by ripping the place apart and stealing the appliances. And wow, it's an awful story. So there's actually, a nice video that goes with this, and I'll play that video for you in just one moment. But before I get into that video, go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button, maybe leave a comment down below, and let me know what you think, okay? What kind of things would you do personally to help prevent this sort of squatter situation? I know that a lot of the times these situations are just not preventable. You can go and check on your house every day, and you go on Monday and then you go back on Tuesday, and guess what? There's already somebody who's broken in there and pretending to like they have a lease, okay? So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that just basically, it can help, but it's not going to make it so that these people can't get into your property at all. Some of the things I think about are, I don't put for rent signs on my house. That kind of signals to everybody, hey, this place is vacant, let's break into it, okay? The other thing I do, I don't put a lockbox up on the front door. I don't do that. I try to keep the lights on in there so it makes it look like at least that somebody is living there. If you can, park a car in the driveway. If you have a spare junker car or something that you can park in the driveway to make it look like, hey, somebody's home right now, don't go there. Just stuff like this. Of course, one of the best things is to get the place rented as quickly as possible, in between tenants, so that there's no long period of time where the place is sitting vacant. Now, obviously, if you're doing repairs or updates, you're going to have the property sitting empty for a longer period of time. But, I've heard some cases where landlords have even spent the nights there while they're working on the place just to make sure that people aren't breaking in. But, like I said, you can do everything and it still won't make a difference if the person is determined enough. So anyway, let's get into this video first.
They did $38,000 worth of damage to the inside of the home purely out of spite and anger. They destroyed walls and cabinets. They stole our washer dryer. They placed feces on the carpet and other places. They left food. They threw eggs on the walls and the flooring. To add insult to injury, we lost that offer, of course, that had been made on the home. So it has cost us an enormous amount of money and time and emotional energy.
All right, you saw the video. Now let's get into the article. This article is coming from foxnews.com, and it says, "Serial squatter stole my home. Florida landlord says people sat on property for a month, thousands in damages. Jacksonville, Florida home trashed by squatters who illegally lived rent-free for 34 days. Yeah, man, this was a bad situation overall. And, I'll give this lady credit. She's got some big, balls, because she confronted this person face to face. And I would have been scared to do that. I don't want the type of situation where I'm getting attacked or whatever. But anyway, let's hear what the article has to say. A Florida landlord says she's giving up on real estate as a source of income while in retirement after spending thousands of dollars fighting to get squatters out of one of her properties. Patty Peoples and Don Tiura regained control of their house in Jacksonville's Hogan Creek neighborhood after squatters illegally occupied it for more than 30 days and left behind $38,000 in damage. This is my retirement, and so any sort of income that I was trusting to live off of for this year is diminished because of this act of stealing," people told Fox News. That's essentially what they've done. They've stolen my home from me. Yeah, and it's pretty bad when you're talking about somebody who comes in, they trash your house, they steal appliances, etc. from you, right? And they're not being charged criminally. This is a civil issue according to the police. That's garbage. Okay, that's complete garbage. These people need to be charged and thrown in jail. Okay, that's just the truth. Now they have some pictures up here of the damage. You saw some of the damage in the video. I'll throw those pictures up on the screen just so you can see that they were just, ripping through the walls. They were just trying their best to, punish this landlord for wanting her own property back. What a joke. Peoples and Tiura first realized their investment property was occupied by squatters when they sent a handyman in March to make repairs ahead of a home inspection before selling it. We had an interested buyer, but the repairman we sent ahead of an inspection said that when he arrived, there was a pit bull with puppies on the sun porch, Tiura told Fox News. This was only 48 hours after showing it to the interested buyer. So they had done a showing just 2 days prior. So, when I said earlier that, even if you're checking on the property every day, they had only checked on it 2 days prior. And these people, they moved in that quick and started their little scam. Okay, so, these people are garbage people, garbage scammers who think that, the law does not apply to them. I wouldn't be surprised if one day they do this to the wrong person and that person doesn't put up with it, if you know what I mean. Okay. Peoples and Tura lost the offer on the house once the squatter issue arose, and they had to remove the house's listing because they were legally not allowed to show it. According to the police report, the squatter said they found the house listed on Zillow and claimed to be victims of a rental scam by a false landlord. One of the squatters told police that she paid rent, a security deposit, and a pet deposit in cash for the house. According to Zillow's website, the property was not listed as a rental at the time the two women moved in. Police discovered that one of the squatters was caught in a nearly identical situation at a nearby home and was evicted in mid-February. In the last lease, the same address was listed for the fraudulent landlord, according to the police report, raising suspicions that the lease was fabricated. Yeah, it wouldn't take a serious criminal investigation to realize that these people were scamming, okay? This was a complete fraud, and the worst part is the police did nothing about it. They can look, they can see, hey, these people are scammers. Everyone can see it. The courts can see it. The police can see it. Everyone can see it. And they still made these landlords go through this civil eviction process, spend thousands of dollars on attorney fees, and have their property ripped apart. Sometimes, like the justice system just doesn't do things that are right, in my opinion, okay? And I understand why some landlords feel like they have to take the law into their own hands. Now, I don't suggest doing that, but I understand why some landlords do that. Peoples explained that police were unable to help her because the situation must go through courts. They are simply going from property to property and getting free room and board in segments of 20 or more days, people said, adding that it took them 34 days to get the squatters to leave. I read another story about a landlord dealing with a similar situation. And you know what the landlord ended up doing? Paying the people, Like, imagine if you could go up to this lady and like, listen, I just want my house back. I don't want it damaged. I will give you $3,000 to leave. Just take all your stuff, get out of here. And I'll give you $3,000 cash. No questions asked. Okay. Now, I know a lot of people would be like, oh, well, you shouldn't be rewarding these people's bad behavior. But think about what they're saying here in this article, okay? The tenants or the squatters, and they're not tenants, the squatters they did $38,000 worth of damage to the property. On top of that, they also cost this lady $5,000 in attorney fees, and they lost out on the sale of this property. So, we were probably talking close to $50,000 gone, and they could have pulled $3,000 in cash to get these people out of the house. That's exactly what I would have done. Okay, like here's $3,000, get on up out of here. Okay, sometimes you have to, just take the loss, take the hit, and get rid of these people because that is the cheapest and the easiest way. You saw the police didn't do anything to help them, and these people, they suffered no consequences whatsoever. So, that's another option out there. I don't feel good doing it, but I can say, like I've never paid a tenant to leave my property, but I have told them if you leave, I will not come after you for the back rent that you owe me. So, in a way that is kind of similar to what, I'm suggesting right here. So, interesting story. I'm glad that this landlord and these, they were able to get their property back. Hopefully they're able to get it sold. And, you know, I hope that these horrible squatters get what they have coming to them.